Ding, ding, ding. I don't have a dinger. I have a plastic cup of, our favorite place, Worth Avenue Yachts, who are amazing.
Worth Avenue Yachts. Could we get like an actual bell off one of the yachts? Like
can we do that? Like a huge one just to have behind and we can ring it really hard. Make everyone hate us and never watch us again. Guys, welcome to Anchor Watch, our weekly Below Deck chat where we recap the episode and talk about anything below deck. Thank you for joining us so late. We're taking over at Adam's channel as usual. Before we get started, Marianne, I see you in the chat, and I see that you had a really nice chat with Captain Sandy on Instagram last week. What? And I couldn't believe she responded to me. She said, it was a real delight. We are meeting in person in Jacksonville, Florida at her restaurant next time. We are also supposed to go to her restaurant at some point. Is it open? Because I haven't heard of it opening yet, because I think it was supposed to open a year or two ago, if I'm not a year ago. I'm not sure.
Well, I think Marianne needs to join you and Adam, and you guys need to do a reconnaissance mission and eat at this restaurant.
We even told Captain Sandy we would come up with a camera crew and go through the restaurant and interview her there. So I really hope that would be something that we could do, because it's nice to talk about Bravo, but sometimes it's nice to talk about these cast members and these crew members about their lives and like what they do.
Yeah, you know what? That's, I think, the parts I like about Adam's interviews the best is because there's so much out. If I want to know what their thoughts are about the show or whatever, I have so many options for that. But like when Adam starts digging in and starts going like, well, okay, well, enough of that. Who are you? What inspired you? What made you a chef? What got you here? What got you? Like, those are the stories that I find fascinating. And I mean, we've seen the audiences won over by some of these cast members. We've seen, opinions change once people had an opportunity to actually get to know the person behind the character.
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, everyone, you're going to want to step back from your computer screens.
Uh-oh.
I have COVID. And so.
Oh, no. But the pandemic's over, Josh.
I know the pandemic's over. But I like to keep it going in my home.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Carolyn, I had a cold over the weekend. I'm so much better, but yeah, Josh, man, it's tough.
Yeah, so the show must go on though. I told Jason we're doing this. We have so much to talk about. Everyone's just gonna have to put up with me sniffling. Jason and I are both gonna be sniffling, so if we're blowing our noses on air, sorry.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
If I lose my place, I'm not on drugs. I'm not drunk. I'm just on Tylenol. So.
Oh, Lord. Well, we hope you feel better, and I hope the family feels better as well. I wanted Josh to get your kind of opinion really quick on we're having some trouble. Some trouble. Goodness, I'm not even having a drink tonight. We're having some trouble with our interior crew. The same trouble we're having in our exterior crew. There seems to be like one who's kind of not really, being in the team.
We have troubles. I think we have opposite troubles, Jason.
Opposite troubles.
Opposite troubles.
Opposite troubles. What are
Allow me to make my case.
Okay.
On the outside of the boat, we have a hardworking team with one individual dragging butt and kind of being a pain. Whereas inside, I hate to say it, but we have two people who are dragging butt and only one working. And I wouldn't be saying this if I hadn't seen those other two previously kicking butt and working at a high level. And so I know they're going through stuff, and look, fish rots from the head. So when leadership starts letting go, other people are going to let go. And Kyle is definitely following his manager down the drain right now.
Down the
and
spiral of relationship issues.
uh,
So it seems like we are Team Kyle here, but I just don't want anyone to forget we are also Team Sean #1 before anything. So I love bringing that
yes,
photo up.
hashtag Team Sean, and Team Sean has also adopted hashtag Team Kyle.
There we go. So
Hey, wait, Jason, before we go anywhere, we need to address something.
What?
Okay, well, we have to address a few things, but first of all, I want to
We
address
do have a few things to address.
Yeah, we have a few things to address. Why are we launching into the show? We have a few things at the top. First of all, my Twitter feed. It's blowing up. I've never seen so much action on my Twitter feed. Coincidentally enough, this is also when my family is starting to watch the show, and now I'm getting asked why everybody is pledging their allegiance to me, their queen.
Yes, you are the new queen.
No,
We've been over this. Yeah, we declared you queen of Anchor Watch last week. You are now the official queen of Anchor Watch.
By the way,
I don't know if Kyle will let you have that title, but
no, I think it was Tyler who did this to me. Is Tyler in the room today? Because if Tyler's in the room, he's banished for 5 minutes. I think it was Tyler who started this last week. And now I am getting inundated with gifts, with people's smart little comments. I will say, yes, it keeps me giggling and laughing throughout the day. And especially this past weekend, I needed those laughs. But also, I am not your queen.
No, but you are our majesty, and we're
my
so
God.
happy.
Elaine, do not encourage
We're
this
so
stuff.
happy that you're here, and you can take the time. If the crown fits, you need to wear it. That's just how it is.
You guys are all horrible.
The horrible naughty yachties. I love to listen, naughty yachties, naughty yachty, and stuff that we say here. It's not all new. It's been said before, but I just love how Bravo is now turning all of these things into product placements and
do you have any screenshots of that, Jason? Do you have any screenshots?
No, I didn't. And we need to watch what happens live tonight. There was a game they played called Naughty Yachties, and I was like, you don't want to play that game here on Anchor Watch. That's for sure.
Thank you all for watching. We've noticed an increase in our viewership. The likes, by the way, your guys' tip has been getting bigger. Thank you for the big tip. If you want to tip us, all you got to do is hit that little thumbs up. That is seriously, obviously, it's helping with this algorithm. You guys are pushing us up. We have more viewers. So thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, guys.
Jason and I are both engaging in the comments. So even if you're not live, I mean, there's plenty of fun to be had live. So if you can make it, please do. But if you're not here live, we are still totally engaging with you guys in the comment section. So please sound off, give us your opinions.
Sound off. I mean, not only is this a chance to recap the episode, but it's a chance to talk about Below Deck and the ins and outs and the things that are happening on Below Deck. We did a poll, and I asked you, do you really think Natalia was trying to make Natasha and Kyle look bad? And one of the answers was yes, she wants to be Chief Stew. And no, she is doing everything. So is this an edit, or what do you think about this, Josh?
I mean, I kind of started sounding off there for a little bit already of what I think about everything. I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of apparent. I think, when I started kind of going off a little bit earlier, everyone was kind of agreeing with what I was saying. What do you think, Jason?
I mean, honestly, just from the edit, edit. Everyone's getting a bad edit, right? Chef Ryan said he got a bad edit. Natasha said she got a bad edit. But at the same time, you see how much Natalia is doing. There's not a lot of time she's sitting there on her phone. She knows the cameras are on, So what do we think?
Yeah, well, I think we talked about this before. They only have the video you give them to work with. So if you give them 15 lunges for your iPhone an hour, checking text and little dings, they have that available to use in your edit. They don't have a CGI crew that's adding things. So yeah, I think 76% said that. Do you think Natalia is trying to make Natasha and Kyle look bad? 76% said no, she is doing everything. I agree with the majority there.
I have to say too, I don't think she's trying to be Chief Stew. I really
No,
think she is just there to be the best second stew she can be. That in my opinion.
I've
From what
never
I can see in
seen
the show.
her. No, yeah, she's never. And you would think too, with her like kind of dating Storm now, that they would have caught moments where the two of them were talking like, if you were the Chief Stew, we would both be leading this ship or whatever. Like, you just think that conversation would have come up if indeed they were like she was plotting and gunning for that. She ain't doing that. Like, we haven't seen that.
No, I don't think so. Speaking before we jump into the guys, I'm sorry if there is an echo. Sometimes there is with StreamYard. I apologize. We'll try to fix it as we go. I do have to say we are getting some below deck news, of course, all the time. Do you recognize these two cast members?
Toomey and Kyle.
Hey, Toomey and Kyle. Looks like they are filming together because pictures have surfaced saying, oh, we do have a really bad echo, and I don't know what it is, guys. I do apologize.
I'm not hearing it, Jason, so I feel
sometimes
bad.
we hear it, but everyone else does, and I kind of hear it in the background. Hopefully, we'll go away. Okay, so Kyle and Toomey have been seen in Italy with camera crews around them. The name on the shirt, I can't make out. A lot of people are saying it's Sirocco, which was the old ship from Below Deck Med. This is an interesting photo because you would think that they would, okay, maybe they're in the off season, they're doing another charter season or whatever, but there were cameras around filming this group of people with them. My only question is, we think that this is Below Deck Med. It's in Italy, so you would think, right? Who the hell is the Chief Stew out of these two?
Or is the Chief Stew back on boat right now and sent these
or
two?
Or is the Chief Stew back on boat? And I wonder who you could pair with these two if one of these two is not the Chief Stew.
All I know is I see two ingredients for good TV.
100%. And they have been filming Below Deck right and left. I mean, Below Deck OG, which apparently
we keep hearing Captain Sandy's going to swing in and save the day.
Swing in and save the day for Captain Lee. We have now we have crossovers, but crossovers have always happened on Below Deck, especially with chefs and sometimes with some of the crew. So this will be really interesting. I hope so. I think it would be freaking awesome. I mean, listen, would I love that to happen, Tammy? Could I imagine Kate leading Toomey and Kyle? It would be really interesting.
I think the internet would go crazy.
And we talked about last week, there's just so much happening in Below Deck. Adventure is coming out, which, we have the Housewives of Salt Lake City going on. We have a new captain, which I'm really excited about, Captain Carey. I told you I've met him. He's freaking awesome. So we shall see. Fun things to speculate and talk about. But let's talk about the episode and what had happened. Should we tell people what we're going to do next week?
Yes. I mean, I think, yeah, we're going to do it, right? We're going to
do it. Okay. So we have been following. Oh, Carolyn, that is such a good guess. It could be. I mean, we don't know who it could be. That would be interesting. Do a whole bunch of crossovers. I mean, they can cross over. They have the same skill set to go to other ships and other places. That would make it more interesting. So next week we're going to start recapping the Peacock episode. So the Peacock episode, the episode that premieres on Peacock on Mondays, we will be recapping here, which means Bravo will recap it the next week. Because right now we're on Bravo's schedule. So next week we will basically be recapping 2 episodes and catching up, and we'll do the Peacock one. Because I know a lot of people in our chat have been messaging me and they're like, we're caught up. I can't tell you what's happening next week. And I've already watched next week's episode. So let's just step up and catch up. And then everyone who's on Bravo can, watch the replay later.
Okay, so our homework is we have 2 episodes to watch before the next our Anchor Watch.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're going to catch up to Bravo, and then we're going to watch the Peacock one. And we're going to next week talk about 2 episodes. 2. And then from then on out, we'll be on the Peacock schedule.
Yes, I think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
And then you know what? I think this is the last time there will be a Peacock ahead of Bravo's schedule, because the new ones are hitting Bravo, right? Like, aren't we? Like,
it's only Med that has been able to, you've been able to get the new episode on the day of. It's
Okay.
only been med always. I don't know if that will ever change or whatever. I mean, with Below Deck Down Under, the whole season was on Peacock before it hit Bravo, and now people aren't really those ratings are sucking on Bravo, you know? Oh,
Yeah.
guys, by the way, I know we gotta get into this, but I really enjoyed watching Ben Crawley from Below Deck Down Under on Watch What Happens Live tonight. And I want him back. I know that's gonna be such an unpopular opinion. I really just enjoyed him. It seems like he has his life together. He's doing other things, but I don't know how you guys feel about that. If you watched Down Under, if you saw Watch What Happens Live, comment in the comments below. Josh, let's jump into this episode where we started where we left off with basically Storm wrestling this anchor that is caught.
Oh yeah. And I called it last week. Storm loses his arm. It's so Bravo to do this to us, to like make us think like this is a life or death situation, and then 30 seconds into the episode it's like finished, we fixed it. It's like,
it's so crazy here. I love that they show this part of yachting though, and I love that they're showing us, you know, everyone, well, I think everyone knows what starboard and port are. You know, port is the left side, starboard the right. You remember it by port has the same amount of letters as left. But it is funny to watch that happen, because this all happened with probably within 15 minutes, and we're making it look like, you know, the charter guests were doing yoga on paddle boards like 5 minutes away. It wasn't like this lasted 20-30 minutes or an hour and oh my god, what are we gonna do? It was
they
a
did
solution.
say Storm was in the water for 2 hours.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did
So
I miss that? Holy
yeah. So
shite.
what happened was, when Z came off of his break, he had missed the whole thing, and he comes walking out like, "Oh yeah, how's it going?" And then Courtney was like, "Oh, we were dealing with this anchor. Z was in the water for the last 2 hours." So yeah.
Well, that, anyway,
I mean, I'm glad we didn't get a
crazy.
2-hour episode of watching people untangle chains.
Crazy. Yeah.
But
And I bet you he wasn't in the water because of stuff he needed to do. Production was like, can you go back down again and get us the footage we need to properly air this? Yeah, what, crazy. But this charter is off to like what seemed to go. This charter has gone off without a hitch, from what I'm seeing. I mean, we have the anchor is taken care of. The guests are very well taken care of. They're happy. The only thing that's not taken care of so much is really Kyle and Natalia are
pantry and the floor.
distracted. The pantry and the floor, especially that spot on the floor that makes Captain Sandy throw up in her mouth every time she sees it.
Mm-hmm.
I want that spot on the floor to be taken care of, because
oh yeah,
I don't want to hear Captain Sandy complain about that.
It literally would just take a wet mop to like get that up. Like, can someone do it like in 2 seconds? Why do we keep seeing it? But yeah, it was disgusting. Tess, knock it off. We already addressed this.
We addressed this at the beginning of the show during the coronation of our new queen.
Oh my god. And thank you for all of our latecomers who come in and yell, "I'm here." Thank you. Welcome.
We appreciate you guys. 120 in the room. Hit the like button if you haven't done so. It helps us out tremendously.
More than I thought it was going to. So thank you guys. Those
very much.
Thumbs up.
Very much. We
so
appreciate
nice of you. And yeah, that's all you got to do. Reach over and just tap that little thing. So thank you.
So we both feel, obviously the chat feels the same way. Kyle and Natasha are distracted. We can say that, right?
Absolutely.
And it's just carrying over. But we'll get to that in a second. We were talking earlier how Kyle and Natasha have like this kind of click, nice friendship going on, which I think it's fun and great. But obviously Natalia is being pushed out to do things like set up the tables and then we'll do service. Clean it up the next day. We'll do service. Go do laundry. Take care of that. And then it just builds up on her. I'm Team Natalia on this side right now in this moment, this episode.
Well, and
because
like
I'm kind of feeling like she's doing everything.
Well, and like I said, it's only because we know they could do better. They have done better. This was not an issue before. They were working their butts off. We're seeing them get relaxed. We're seeing them talk a lot. We're seeing her futzing with her phone a lot. If their heads were totally in the game and she was back on her, you know, her first couple, the first couple
episodes.
I have COVID for people who are joining late, so
Yeah, sorry
apologies.
guys.
But the
Sick.
first couple charters, that's what I was gonna say. First couple charters, she was kicking butt. She was very had it together.
I mean, they set the bar pretty high, both of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I find what was kind of lackluster too about this charter in particular with not only the interior crew, but pretty much the crew in general. And this is something I saw in the episode. Everyone just looked at this point kind of tired. Like we're hitting that midpoint in the
Yep.
season where people are getting tired, but it's like Natasha is distracted. Kyle is not his 100%. Let me be the show for you. Let me, he's just kind of like, whatever, for the first time. We're not used to seeing that. And the same thing with like Jason too, like I noticed, and we'll get to talk about Jason too, but Jason, even when they went out on the jet skis, the charter guests were like, oh, we want to take the jet skis out. Let's go. He's like, okay, but you have to have life jackets on the whole time. How about like, yeah, guys, you're going to have so much fun. Make sure you keep your life jackets on when you go out. You have to have them on at all times. All right. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good time. Put some energy. I mean, really, all you do is work on a yacht and sleep and eat. And then on your days off, you party. Like, is that energy too much to ask from any of the crew?
No. And Jason and I like to harp on it, but when we were performing on tour, every show we had to give it like it was your first time seeing it, not our first time. And we had to give our all and make you feel like this is happening for me now, and it's never happened before, and it'll never happen again. And that to me is what makes a special yacht experience, is like, this is happening for us for the first time. Yeah. And they're acting like you are joining us on episode 50 of a show that will not end. So
yeah.
Our
I mean, that's what it feels like. I don't know what it is. I know there are frustrations, there are distractions, especially with Jason, who's thinking that, they're working harder and not smarter. But at this point, Jason, what do you want? Because you can't work with Reagan. Okay, Reagan obviously was not supposed to be bosun. Reagan is now gone. You have a team of 3 people who have generally good attitudes, who know what they're doing. And it's okay to like maybe pipe in sometimes, but at this point, I feel like he's just not participating. Yeah, you can work harder, smarter, whatever. You can suggest things. Maybe it's the way you're going about it that might have them go off. Also, there's no urgency. He loves to complain. I don't know.
I've been reading lately about Marcus Aurelius's meditations in Stoicism. I'm not kidding.
Is this because you're sick?
No.
Oh, okay.
It has nothing to do with COVID. But one of the things he talks about is you don't have to have an opinion on everything. And I've really been taking that to heart lately. And
there are too many opinions in this world.
There's too many opinions. There's too many opinions.
I agree.
And then you get a couple of idiots on YouTube spouting off stuff on their microphones, and
sick, 2 sick idiots talking about Below Deck here on YouTube.
Talking about Below Deck, sharing their stupid opinions. Yeah, we need to talk about that interview, by the way. We will talk about that interview. We will remind people, you got to check out this interview. But let's not break up what we're doing right now.
Well, do you feel like Jason is semi-combative? Because when Storm approached him about like putting the stuff away, and he's like, well, there's nowhere to put it. So what are you going to fucking just leave it on the deck like that? That's your answer? There's nowhere to put it. So there it is.
Well, he also said like, well, when we do, and it's like, yeah, you work on like you don't work on luxury yachts. You're working on working boats that like you can oh my God, I'm sorry guys, where you can leave stuff wherever you want. But this is not that. This is a luxury yacht. Like people that are spending tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars for vacation, they don't want to see your mop and bucket in the hall when they're walking.
And they don't want your complacency. And it's so interesting because Courtney has pointed this out many times. She kind of just steers away from Jason at this point. She says, he's always late from coming back from places. Like take 15, he takes 45. He really doesn't know how a luxury yacht is supposed to work, but he's not trying to learn it either. He's just back on my boat. It's like, that's great, but this is not that, and you took this job. So I feel like you should step up like a little bit.
Yeah. Look at his face. Never trusted Jason.
Hey.
Everybody write all the things in the comments right now. Things you don't like about Jason. Either Jason, really.
Good Lord.
Jason on the screen or Jason host. Just start listing them.
All right, Your Majesty. We'll move on right now.
Oh my God, don't start with that.
Okay, but where we are going right for once, and it started off kind of low, but where we are going right now is Chef Dave just knows how to present things fantastically for the food for the guests. I mean, he knows how to please Captain Sandy, which is really freaking hard when you're a chef. He knows how to please the guests, and we really haven't had a complaint. There's nothing that Chef Dave has done wrong this whole season except Natasha.
Yep, that's the only thing he did wrong. But
Unfortunately.
no, his skill is amazing. I mean, we've kind of been spoiled lately with great chefs. Like, that's kind of been a constant through line this year. By the way, we are approaching our 1-year anniversary doing this show, guys. Can you believe it? In October, Jason looked it up. So we're gonna do something. We'll tell you more as we get closer, but we're gonna make it fun.
On the 1-year anniversary, exactly, I'm heading to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show the next day with Captain Sean and a few of our other Below Deck friends. And we're gonna do a whole big vlog thing and everything. And I'll see if we can do something where we can all like have people call in and
we'll get people on and stuff. And I don't know, is Sean gonna be in town? Maybe just make him come on camera with you, like just drag him into studio. We'll figure. Anyways, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
But I can't believe that we've been doing the show for a year. Like we're heading to 1 year.
That's insane.
But
that's insane.
My point is the one thing that you could pretty much count on every episode or every season was the chef delivering for the crew. And here we go again. I mean, Dave really is hitting it out of the park. He doesn't put out bad food, and it looks beautiful. He might be maybe competition with Marcos, but he might be the most beautiful plater. You know what I mean? Like, his platings are artful. But Marcos was pretty good too.
Let me know in the live chat, guys. Let me know who your favorite chef of late has been. So, like Chef Marcos from Below Deck Sailing, Chef Rachel from Below Deck, and now, of course, Chef Dave currently. But I think, I have to agree with you. He's a great plater. He is good at listening to the preference sheet. Chef Marcos is a complete spectacle. It's a whole show. And I mean spectacle in the best way. He knows how to provide pomp and circumstance to his food, to the presentation. And I love that. And Chef Rachel just makes shit that you would have never even thought of. It's like, wait, what? There's some kind of seed sauce with this fish and the eel and that, like, and then she puts it together and it's like
she's like she's like a chemist in the like a taste.
Yeah, absolutely. I just, I don't know who your favorite chef of all time is. My sister's is Chef Ben. She loves Chef Ben. She's overly obsessed with Chef Ben to the point where I don't get it. I'm seeing a lot of Dave, Marcos. Yeah, don't forget Chef Ben. Listen, I'm talking about like of late, like the past couple of franchises in the past few seasons. I think have been pretty good.
I'm saying this. I would not like. If I got invited to have a meal from any of these people, I would not turn it down. I was like,
no.
And we've had some stinkers as chefs, by the way.
Yeah, especially in Below Deck Sailing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I mean, Dave and Marcos. Annika just said Marcos had Chef Dave come and cook in Marilo in downtown LA, which is Chef Marcos' restaurant, and
that would have been a cool experience to get there while those two were like doing their show.
I heard Chef Marcos' restaurant is just like always a good time, and there's always something happening there. So I do love that. Okay, I have a question for you. I want to dive into the interior crew really quick before I have some things to say about the exterior, but the interior crew. Is Natasha pulling back from her boyfriend right now the same way she kind of pulled back from Dave, or is it just me?
I kind of got the vibe. And didn't we get a tease that almost like she starts to turn things back on with Dave?
Yeah, we did. And you already see that. I mean, last episode, and I don't know if I have that photo from when we talked about it. Or it
Well,
wasn't
this
last
one they were
episode,
taking
was it?
selfies on the beach together, and Dave is like, yeah. And Dave also is like kind of ignoring her, which unfortunately, for some people that are messed up, that actually ends up working and they start coming back around. And yeah, she's a hot mess. I would avoid her, like,
And I want to give her like
the benefit of the doubt.
the benefit of the doubt because she says she had a really bad edit. She's not, I don't think we will see her back on Below Deck. I just think it's not what she expected, but it is what you signed up for, and this is how you're looking. I mean, this is right now your interior team is kind of struggling. You seem to be concentrated on your phone, and then Chef Dave. This is just how it's looking. I'm just saying, but yeah, it almost seems like she's playing games, Lee. I have to agree with you there, like 100%. That's what it seems like.
Well, people like that, I notice they're narcissists. They're selfish. Like, because a real relationship, I've been married for years. You've been together in the longest engagement ever known to man. But no, you and Adam have been together forever and still not married. My point is,
we are getting married by the end of the year. We have to.
Sure,
There are
I've heard
fiscal
this.
reasons we need to be
Sure, I've
doing
heard
this.
Okay, whatever.
Okay.
But my point is, that being with someone is all of those things that a book as old as the Bible talks about. It's compromise, it's patience, it's love. It's like all these things. And it's basically giving of yourself to the other person. And that's like right when Natasha nips it in the bud. It seems like as soon as she's asked to like give some of herself and compromise for the other person, then she's like, I'm out. And then she finds like an excuse why they're so horrible and mean.
I mean, at least from what we're seeing, of course. But the thing is too with the boyfriend, it's like she keeps saying, "No, I don't want to hurt you anymore." And it's like, make a decision. This guy wants to take you back. He's obviously not happy of what has transpired on Motor Yacht Home with Chef Dave. I get that, but like, make a decision here. What are you doing? Like, it can't be that hard. You're on this boat for literally 6 weeks. You know what I mean? That's where I just like, what's going on here? 6 weeks, guys. They film for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So just remember that as you're watching the entire season. That makes you
All
think.
this is happening at hyper speed.
We talked about the Captain Sandy is starting to notice these. I don't know how to say it. Like these things that have been not done basically on the yacht. I mean, the pantry, the floor, that spot that she said if she sees it again, she's going to throw up. It's just kind of like, what is going on? It's kind of messy.
Yeah. Surprisingly, Sandy has noticed all the balls that have dropped. She's the last one I noticed. I expected to see.
And I'm giving credit to Captain Sandy because, Josh, when we started this season and recapping the season, we did say, let's give Captain Sandy a refresh. For all of those who think that, for reasons people have for not liking her, for all those people who think she's a micromanager, she's honestly been such a great leader this season from what we've seen. I really enjoy watching her. But now she's like, do I need to micromanage? Maybe this is the reason I need to micromanage. The pantry looks like shit. Things are dirty. Things are left behind. And it just doesn't make for a good overall experience for the crew or the guests.
In this case, she stepped in and captained when she needed a captain. And she did kind of, the thing I liked is she didn't step in and start doing it with them. She just like put the fear of God in them and then walked out of the room. And they were like, to the point where Kyle and Natasha are like, yeah, I'm probably not going to go out tonight. I'm probably going to stay back here and work on the pantry. And it's like, okay, mission accomplished, Sandy. Well done.
Mission accomplished. Well done. 130 in the room, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. It helps us out tremendously. So if you want to leave a charter tip tonight, leave a charter tip with that like button.
Yes.
We love a good thumbs up.
Yes. Leave us. I'm not even.
You know what? Listen, speaking of the interior crew, Natalia, who is having issues, maybe not like fitting in with the team because there's a little like, and I think that Kyle and Natasha had built their friendship based on the whole Chef Dave stuff that has happened. with Frank recently just being on the boat. They can like relate in that relationship sector, and they're just kind of like floating in their own bubble. But Natalia, I got to give her credit. Like she really works her ass off to put together a really good theme for the guests, even
And
so
one
much
could
that she would
argue,
Google Dolly Parton.
one could argue too, she actually has a bigger distraction on the boat because she's dating someone who is there on the boat. They could be sneaking off and playing grab ass, but they're working. Both of them are working hard. And that has not come up at all, as no one's ever pointed out. It's like, hey, you guys are really distracted. Let's get to work. Quit, get your hands off.
Never. And I think that's because Storm and Natalia both take their jobs seriously. Yeah. Like if they are there to do that job that we've seen so far, I've only seen Storm learn from his mistakes and kind of step up where he's been asked to, because he didn't even sign up to be the bosun.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's taking that on is great. So I kind of really like that about them. But I love how she Googled Dolly Parton and they figured out she had a bar in Nashville that's pink or something like that. It's so funny.
Imagine having to Google Dolly Parton.
Imagine. What do we think about these Dolly Parton outfits, by the way? Were they on point or not?
I mean, I
don't know about Natasha's. I was a fan of Z's. Did you see Z dressed up like Dolly Parton?
Definitely saw Natalia's. Hey,
hey, girl.
Natasha, though, what was with sticking those like little nipples in? She always is going a little too far, especially with this particular group. This is the same group they tried to introduce to Steve or whatever, and that bombed. That's not their humor. What are you doing? Like, that was kind of a weird move. Like,
no, I mean, but these charter guests are like for real, huh? Like these charter guests, it's gone off without hitch. They're just happy to be there. They don't need the whole like Steve thing. Obviously, Kyle can read his audience better than Natasha can. He knows when he needs to pull out the tricks.
Yeah,
this wasn't one. They're just happy to be there. They're enjoying themselves. They're enjoying themselves so much that I think they didn't go to bed on their last night until like 5 a.m., which in my mind, that's how I would do my last night.
Yes.
But this is a question for you in the live chat that I have. If you're paying to be on this yacht, does it matter what time you go to bed, or is there some kind of respect where like, oh, these guys have been working all day, we should probably let them go to bed?
No.
How do you feel about that?
No, it's not my job. Like, when I go shopping at a store, I don't go, I don't want to go in it. It's 11:15. I'd really like some people to take their breaks. It's like, no, it's not my job. Yeah, they should be really doing some breaks right about now. I'll come back in 30 minutes.
Yeah, you guys at lunch. I know you're closing soon. I don't want to bother you. I'm not going to buy anything.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these charter prices.
It's their job to balance it.
These are the seasonal charter prices for Motor Yacht Home. Oh. This is expensive. So I guess I'm going to have to agree with you, Josh. Like, fuck it. If I want to stay up until
what they were
6 a.m.
what they were asking for was very minimal. Like simple drinks. They were just like, can you bring us half of them? We're like, can you just bring us tequila? And
even that they did like a low pour. I've never heard guests complain about so many things. Like they were like, oh, you gave us just a little pour. Oh, like it was like what they wanted to turn it up. That what else did they say? This is the worst bottle service I've ever received.
Yeah, it was. They were really dragging there at the end, and I don't know if I'm paying.
Hey, everyone agrees with you, Josh. I mean, I think it's like if I'm paying for it, and this is what I want to do, change your schedule so you guys can sleep and rest and work around mine.
Yeah,
is that fair? I mean, did you think that during this time too, the guests?
I'm with Angelique. Like, just let me know if you guys need to go to bed. Line up the bar with some stuff that we could pour ourselves. Give us some pictures of sangria. Leave a bunch of crappy snacks that we know we're gonna smash because we're drunk, and go to bed. And I'm fine with that. Like whatever. But and it's not like they did it every night. It's not like they did it every night.
Shelly, I'm gonna have to agree with this here, and I am Team Kyle. I love Kyle for so many reasons. He's so awesome. I can't wait to see him. But Jason, did you catch Kyle staying up until 4:30 talking to Frank the first night? This was my next question for the live chat and for you, Josh, is during this time that they were staying up, it seemed like Natasha and Kyle weren't really getting anything done besides like maybe sitting and chatting, getting on the phone. and then like, oh, we'll just leave it till morning. You leave it till morning, but then who wakes up in the morning? It would be Natalia. So she has to deal with this now.
Time to leave.
Was there ample opportunity to clean?
Yeah, they had actually. It sounds like 4 extra hours that night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, scrub it up, Dub Gang. Like, let's clean it up. They could have actually tackled extra projects with that time. They could have gone out that night instead of staying home. Yeah, it's a service I'm paying for, so I agree. We're around
100%, Mocha. And Mocha, it's nice to see you.
Yes,
we love when you're here in the live chat.
Our Aussie friend.
Yeah, crazy. Okay, let's move back to the exterior. Oh, I have a question. I have another question for the live chat really quick. I know we're going to keep it a little short tonight because Josh and I are not in the best condition this week. We're being sick. But
I'm dying.
Guys, whoever watches Below Deck Down Under, don't you think that instead of having Jason on the show, if we had Culver from Below Deck Down Under, that this crew would be phenomenal? This guy who is quote unquote like I forgot what he calls himself. He's like the master of ceremonies, or what does he call himself, guys? He's like the party guy. So he's the deckhand Josh on Below Deck Down Under, who is phenomenal. He's just all about pleasing the guests. It's fun. Hey now. But speaking of deckhands, Courtney is such a great asset to this deck crew, 100%. The way she is driving that tender, I drive a boat around the same size as the tender, and it's like hit or miss docking that boat. So for her to just be learning how to do all this is fantastic.
Jason is ramming the docks.
I'm ramming the dock every time.
Poor,
move out of the way.
That boat club you're in has got to be like, oh my God, Jason's here.
Probably.
Get out the boat patch.
Yes, thank you. I do think Culver would be awesome. Oh, wait, hold on. There's another comment. Culver and Natalia doing a party thing together would be awesome. 100%. That's why I love the idea of mix-ups on Below Deck. Like, let's change up the franchises and the casts. Because, again, they have the same skill set that they can take to another boat. It's awesome. And then I wanted to talk to you about this, too. Storm is really happy with Courtney, like I am, in her tender driving skills. But he does want to make her the lead deckhand. And this is going to cause some trouble. And I think that Storm is thinking that because Z is his best friend and they have a long history together, that it's going to upset Z. I don't think it's going to upset Z. I don't think it's going to upset Courtney. I think it's going to upset Jason.
Oh, and Storm is actually kind of hoping it does. But I think too, if he went to Z and went, hey buddy, everybody on this ship knows you're my best friend. So it's you and Courtney are both awesome. A case could be made for either of you being the second stew or no stew. Oh my God. Sorry, folks. I'm losing it. Anyways, I'm going to promote her because that way it doesn't look bad. I know you've got our backs and, I think she's earned it. This will be great for her and for the whole team and stuff. And then, let's find a next charter where you and I could be number 1 and 2 on, from the get-go kind of thing.
100%. I mean, you got to, Z just started this last time we saw him Below Deck. He's still green. Yeah. He's still learning. He's learned a lot. I think he's awesome. I think his attitude is what makes him, his attitude and demeanor is what makes him. He's so
definitely
valuable.
A fight to have. He's definitely a fight to have. You want to fight to have a guy like that on your team. So he's awesome. And I think he would totally be cool with it. And he is a go with the flow kind of guy. I think he'd be like, okay, good. I'm not here for titles anyways. I'm here to learn and to do good work. So let's do it.
And that's it. Thank you, Callie Cat. We are trying to feel better as we do this. And Rochelle, yes, everything does seem to upset Jason. Like everything. Everything. I haven't seen one thing that doesn't upset this
drama queens.
Drama queens. But
Every
the
Jason.
Queen of all kind of drama on Anchor Watch is our Queen Josh.
Don't you start. Do not.
I'm gonna make you a crown with an anchor. Like a big old anchor in the front.
I'm not gonna wear your stupid crown.
Do you watch Real Housewives of Dubai? that reunion has a crown on it. Caroline Brooks wore this dramatic costume thing, and her crown would be perfect for the Queen of our Sea over here at Anchor Watch.
I'm gonna kill you.
All right, let's end this off because we are both sick. Guys, thank you for being here. We have 160 in the room. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys for joining us. This has really become such a fun night where we can just talk about everything.
I love that I have something fun on Tuesday nights. Nothing happens on Tuesday.
Nothing. No shows come out on Tuesday.
No shows.
Nothing happens on Tuesday.
I love that we have this group that we get together and laugh with. If you're part of the replay crew, please hit the like button, but also comment. Like Jason and I are checking comments and commenting back. Ginger, yes.
How did you know? I wanted to know how you knew.
Wait, yeah, how do you know? I don't even follow this stuff, but December 30th, I'm a Capricorn. Weird. I hope that's a compliment. All
right, before we end off though, Josh, what are you looking forward to next episode? Because we are recapping 2 episodes next week. 2.
So see, I don't even know because I haven't watched either. I've been a good boy. I don't watch ahead while we've been doing
it's
the Bravo
so hard
thing.
to do. I did already, actually.
Oh, you're bad. So this is why we're doing it, because you have no self-control. Is that what you're telling me?
This is why I can't be royalty.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and we just lost Jason's camera.
I'm here.
Okay. Bad girl turning off her camera.
And my camera's exhausted.
Yeah, I would be if I was looking at you all day too.
It's Adam's camera.
By the way, real quick, for those who haven't seen, Adam had an amazing interview come out yesterday. I don't even know her name because I don't follow this stuff.
So yeah, Adam had
the interview. I still watched it and loved it. It was a great interview.
It was very entertaining to say the least. Adam had an interview with Kelly Dodd and Rick Leventhal, and it was just a very interesting experience. We actually did a members only live after the interview last night. We talked all about kind of our experience and like what we did. Hold on, I'm getting this camera situation.
You know what? I also watched Adam's live on Instagram with her right before he premiered it. And that was blown up. They had like 1,000 people in the room on IG Live.
Yeah.
But that Kelly Dodd interview, like as someone who doesn't follow that stuff, I thought she was just a fascinating interview. And so I can't imagine if I watched the show, I'd be going crazy right now. So yeah,
listen, I mean, we talked a lot about it on the members only, but it was actually a great interview in the sense that it was just very unfiltered. There was no like, you know, in every interview Adam has done, whether it's been with Fallon from Real Housewives of Atlanta, that we didn't actually give her the questions, but she was very careful on how she would answer. These are the sit down ones. You know, Adam's done 70 interviews and people don't even realize it. They're like, you've only done 3 interviews. And it's like, no, well, like the sitting down, he actually has 70 interviews with so many people who are current and amazing. And there's a playlist for that on the channel. But then with Mary Cosby's parents, we were very careful on what we edited out because it wasn't their fight. It wasn't their thing. It was just their story. So we didn't want to get like too, you know, into that. And then with Jen Shaw, you know, like there's only certain things that we could ask with the attorneys. There's only certain things that she could say. Yeah. And it was just time for an unfiltered interview. You know, whether you like Kelly or not, I really think it was just great to have someone kind of just ask me what you want and I will tell you whatever you want.
Well,
you know,
and here's the deal.
It's a rarity.
We need that more in this world. Some of my closest friends are people who we are completely opposed on certain subjects, but we come together in the fact that we're both well thought out on our opinion and we're both passionate about learning the truth. And so that is what we bond over and we love each other for, is the fact that we are both members of that team that's in pursuit of the truth. And I think for people, it's good for your brain to hear people that have different opinions than from you.
100%.
And you can hear like, oh, you know, like I will tell you guys, I listen to some of the biggest podcasts of both political parties purposely because I think, this is my personal opinion, I heard someone say this and I took it to heart, but if you are going to share your opinion with the world, you should be able to articulate the other side and their stance. And I think that is a very good way of growing in empathy, which is something that the internet doesn't always promote. And I think hearing someone else's opinion, and whether I agree or not, is good and causes you to expand your mind and maybe realize, like, oh, while I disagree, I could see why they feel that way, or the things that led them to feel that way. And oh, maybe I could, before they get to that opinion, I can help with some of those other things, which would ultimately change that opinion. Or yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a great interview. We have a lot more coming up, guys. Again, Adam and I are dropping Hot Messy podcast next Friday, September 30th, where we actually have some other interviews coming your way. The Hot Messy is definitely Adam and I, but our interviews are actually quite amazing. We just finished our second today. We have our third interview tomorrow for the podcast. It's fantastic. If you were in,
I heard about the first interviews, guys. I can't. It's crazy you guys are starting on such a high. I think you're setting the bar a little too high, Jason, coming out. Like,
no, I don't think so. We have more people lined up, and it's just great.
This is
because
wild.
It's not just Bravo. It kind of takes you out of the realm of Bravo a little bit more into entertainment. Of course, we talk about Bravo a little bit. That's, what Adam's channel is built on, and that's what we talk about all the time. And we will have a couple Bravo guests on, of course, but we're going to go outside that bubble too and kind of bring in people from the industry, some of our friends from the industry, and have some really candid, great conversations. I think
Jason,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
do love that we get to hear you guys talk about, I guess I would say, pop culture in general, because there's things that I know you two are passionate about. You're not 100% Bravo. And so it's nice to be able to hear, oh yeah, Jason wants to talk about this, Adam wants to talk about that. It's like, I do want to hear those other things, and especially people who are fans of Adam and like hearing his perspective on things. Now you're getting an opportunity to hear him talk about other things.
And we do have a 3-part podcast. We have we do like a popping off on pop culture. We have our interview with our special guest, and we do our kind of bitch session rant of the day for everyone, where Adam and I, it's Adam and I who are messy here. But don't let Hot Messy fool you, because we do have some great, again, inspiring interviews and stuff coming up. Oh, excuse me. You guys will have to check it out. And yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. Josh, I think you should come on the podcast.
I will. I promise I will. We got to think of something, like, if I come on, though, I want it to be special. I want to contribute in a way that will, like, entertain your audience. So we've got to think of something.
It will, because we're, like you said, we're off the Bravo. You and I have been in the entertainment industry since we were like children. So it'll be fun to like talk about. We have choreographers, Broadway performers, actors, entertainment hosts. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
I need to go to bed.
All right, guys, let's go to bed. Let's feel better for next week, because you got to recap 2 episodes next week, Josh.
Thank you all for watching. All right. Hit the like button.
Hit the like button. Comment below, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone. Bye.